Sports Blitz Live is on the air with full coverage of the Auburn Tigers,
Touchdown Auburn!
the Alabama Crimson Tide,
Off the inside, intercepted Alabama. Touchdown run.
and everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sports Blitz Live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome into Sports Blitz Live on this Tuesday night. Do not adjust your set.
Maybe I need to adjust my seat. How about that?
Adjust your seat. That'll work. JJ and Luke with you tonight. It's kind of a hodgepodge, I understand. You may be a little confused by it. It's all right. We're going to be with you for the next 2 hours talking everything in the world of sports, and there is plenty to talk about tonight. SEC basketball underway. Vanderbilt leading Auburn by 11 at the half at Neville Arena. We've got Alabama going to Ole Miss tomorrow night to talk about. SEC basketball now in full swing. Obviously, we're going to touch on the Charles Bediako situation. We can talk about the Super Bowl a little bit if you want to. And kind of an overall what the hell's going on with the NCAA. That's a whole other, conversation. So we can get into all of that tonight. Luke, hope you're well. And why don't we start with the basketball game that's going on right now? We were just talking about it off the air. You were watching some of it before. Auburn trailing Vanderbilt by 11. I saw Stephen Pearl's press conference this week, and he said that he was going back and reviewing film of every made three-pointer against them in conference play to try to figure out where
he was busy.
To figure out where the defense. They're giving up an average of 39% three-pointers against, and that's a tough thing. Stephen Pearl's a guy who's kind of built his reputation on defense anyway. But right now, something is not working. Vandy's 6 of 13, so almost 50% at the half from 3 points. And it just, there's something with the three-point defense that is not happening.
And look, Alabama's been there for years. That was the knock on Alabama for a long time, is they couldn't defend the three. And I think now Alabama shoots the three so well, it may negate it a little bit. Yeah. I wouldn't say they're still great at defending the three, but, Auburn just they do not defend it well, and it's a big problem for them, and players are becoming more proficient in it. And if they know that's going to be your weakness and they know that you're going to have to come out more often, well, then it starts opening up on the interior. So it really feeds off itself. And Auburn's got a problem right now. This Vanderbilt team's good, but I think they've lost 3 in a row coming into this game.
That's right, yeah. And they've down to number 19 now after they got off to really a torrid start at the beginning of the year. A little bit of a weak non-conference schedule, but they did get off to a good start. And
that's why when Alabama played them, I said, I hate playing them right now. I want to play them in 2 weeks, because everybody's going to have their ebbs and flows, and they were a little better than they really are then. They came back down to earth, and now I think they're going to start settling in. They're still a really good ball club.
Yeah, and the thing is, Vanderbilt's 19-4, 6-4 in conference. Auburn comes in at 14-9, 5-5. Andy and I talked about this the other day. This game tonight is, I think, critical for Auburn. Because you got to go on the road to Arkansas Saturday. You can't put chips on the table in that. So tonight's the night. You've really got to find some second. And they got to find some offense in the second half, too. When your leading scorer is 2 for 10 from the field, Keyshawn Hall, 2 for 10 from the field, and both of those are threes. That means he's 0 for 8 from two-point range in the first half. That is not good. So
I heard a stat on the broadcast before I came over. They said that Vanderbilt is the best in the country when it comes to forcing people to take tough two-pointers, meaning somebody has charted the stats where taking two-point jump shots, teams are the worst against Vanderbilt.
Right.
I mean, that's a bizarre stat to try. It's not just two-point field goal percentage. It's that they are forced into bad 2-point shots.
My guess would be they're not allowing anything at the rim, and then they're closing out and contesting everything. So that would be the obvious thing to look at. If you want to get in on the conversation, 256-234-6221, 256-234-6221. We'd love to hear from you about anything going on. And, all right, let's jump right into it. Charles Bediako was not ruled ineligible. I hate to get like lawyer because I'm not a lawyer.
You kind of do have to, though.
I play one on TV, but Charles Bediako was not ruled ineligible today. The temporary restraining order that was allowing him to play was dissolved. And the reason is because the judge ruled, and I think probably correctly, the judge ruled that Charles Bediako would not be irreparably harmed by not being able to play because Bediako can sue the NCAA for damages for the money he would have made had he played. And that can be part of this suit. And in that way, it is not if you don't allow him to play, it does irreparable harm to him and his opportunity.
I thought that was a weird way to go about it to begin with. Because I didn't really see the harm myself. First of all, he's only going to be there a semester, and maybe even half a semester.
Yeah.
But I would have gone about it another way. I would have said, look, there's already been precedent set that you let the Baylor guy play. And for people who say, well, the Baylor guy, this has been the argument. Well, the Baylor guy
didn't sign an NBA two-way contract.
Well, but he was part of an NBA trade, by the way.
He was.
And he was drafted.
Right.
But they say he would never played college basketball. And I just found that to be so bizarre that, like, you don't mind saying Europeans are pros,
right,
or that this guy whose name I can't pronounce, so forgive me, he is not a pro, even though
James
Najee, even though he's was drafted by an NBA team who was actually part of a trade.
And the Charlotte Hornets still own his rights.
Correct.
In the NBA.
So you're saying he's not a pro because he never went to college in the first place, even though he played in a league that is literally called professional.
Right.
That's what bugs me so much. And I get people want to get the technicality of that. Like, well, that's the rule. Okay, well, that's what Bediako was trying to do, was to hopefully show the fallacy in the rule itself. It's so dumb that you can't possibly say these other guys are okay with a straight face and not even have the discussion about Bediako.
Right.
Say what you want to about whether or not you want it to happen. And I'll be honest, I'm fine with Bediako's not being there. Yeah. I'm fine with it, and I'm really fine with it if every pro is ineligible.
That is, I think, the biggest positive to come out of this hearing.
It may create change.
Is that it may be a jumping off point to do some things differently, because you're right. In the NCAA ruled this two ways, and this is again part of the problem with the NCAA over the last few years. They started out by saying, well, by signing the two-way deal and then playing in the G League, he became, he signed an NBA contract, even though it was a two-way deal and he never played in the NBA. Whereas you had the situation with Najee where he gets traded to Charlotte. Charlotte views him as a draft and stash kind of player, wants you to play some G League, but he got offered more money to go back to FC Barcelona in Europe, and so he decided not to sign with the G League, to sign the G League deal, went to FC Barcelona. So that was the NCAA's initial argument on Bediako, was he signed the two-way deal. And then after he got the temporary restraining order, it became, well, but he gave up his eligibility when he left to go into the draft. Well, it used to be if you went into the draft and got drafted, your eligibility was gone.
And by the way, Bediako wasn't drafted, and
right.
Najee was.
Right.
So that's the other thing. That's where I thought they should have focused this, because that is really where the fallacy lays.
Yeah.
And he went to a professional league in Barcelona. We all know it's professional, and that's another thing I've seen some Auburn people specifically say, well, you don't understand. In Europe, all they can do is go from high school straight to these pros. No, they can come to the States.
Absolutely.
You can come to the States, but if you go to a professional league, you're a professional. I think if you want to say that they got Bediako on this technicality, and that's the way it is, I'm fine. But now, let's change this rule.
That's
because
right.
obviously this is a screw up.
That's right.
And the other thing is, one of the whole points of it used to be you're a pro if you take any money.
Yeah.
If you took a ham sandwich.
You can't do
now
that now.
everybody's getting paid, so they're all pros anyway. So I don't understand. And frankly, if I were Betty Alco, would have gone at it another way and said, you know what? I'm trying to get ready for the NBA. I can be better prepared for the NBA going to the SEC and increase my brand than I can go to a G League, and nobody knows where any of those games are.
Yeah.
The G League may be about to be dissolved anyway,
Right.
Because college basketball has now created the farm system G League was supposed to be, because you get paid, you get more notoriety, your brand increases, you play better competition.
People are going to play longer in college, too, now because of the opportunity to get paid. You're not going to have to – it's not like the 3 or 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, well, I need to go in the draft because I need to support my family. You don't need to do that anymore.
No, there's no more – that's the funny thing. I wish the NFL and the NBA – if you remember back in the day, it used to be you left for the draft on a hardship. It was like a draft hardship, or I can't remember exactly what it was called. But now you leave just because you want to leave. I wish the NBA and NFL, the NBA definitely won't do this. I wish the NFL would say, all right, here's the deal. You've got to be in college. Now, you got to be in college 3 years. You have to have played 3 years. The red shirt doesn't count or something like that.
Well, the NFL already has the 3-year rule.
But you can be redshirted. Yeah.
Right. It's 3 years out of high school.
Yeah.
We've got to our first break. We're going to step aside. We'll come back. More Sports Blitz Live coming up. Give us a call, 256-234-6221. We'll be right back.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama, is home-owned and home-operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep us in mind. Don't you go by Sportz Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
Craving pizza done right? Come to Lake Martin Pizza, where flavor meets the lake, with 2 locations, 63 South in Alexander City and Highway 49 South in Dadeville. Grab a 14 or 18-inch specialty pizza or build your own masterpiece. Go half and half, your way. In a hurry, stop in for our lunch specials. Hot, fresh pizza by the slice, served daily. We've got more than just pizza. Try our fresh salads, cheesy breadsticks, garlic knots, and sweet cinnamon twists. Lake days, game nights, or family dinners, Lake Martin Pizza hits the spot every time.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Here at Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply, we value what truly makes a home a home. And that's why we're proud to offer America's #1 brand of siding and exterior products. James Hardie creates possibilities with an array of colors and textures. We offer the full line of James Hardie products, from Hardie plank to artisan siding and everything in between, giving you, our customer, options to have the best. Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply, local since 1984.
Ready for an unforgettable escape? Jump into adventure at Lake Martin, Alabama. From thrilling water sports to peaceful fishing spots, it's love at first bite every time you cast your line. Want more excitement? Catch an event with our vibrant festivals, concerts, and fishing tournaments all year long. And when the sun sets, dive downtown to discover local shops, delicious dining, and warm southern hospitality. Explore Lake Martin, where every moment is an adventure waiting to happen.
Zaxby's birthday cake milkshakes are back. Just in time for Zaxby's 35th birthday, so they're gifting you half-off handcrafted milkshakes. Happy birthday to us all. Zaxby's handcrafted milkshakes. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's. Bundle your home and auto and save money with State Farm's personal price plan. Contact State Farm agent Ron Carroll today at 256-378-6631 or visit him on Highway 280 in Childersburg. Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer availability. Eligibility may vary.
Welcome back to Sports Blitz Live. JJ and Luke with you on this Tuesday night. Andy wasn't feeling great earlier, so Andy, hope you get to feeling better here very soon, and we appreciate you guys joining us here tonight. We're going to be here till 9, so we'll take your calls, 256-234-6221. If you want to get in on the show, you can also comment on Facebook, and we'll try to get to those a little later on, too. Auburn currently trailing Vandy and Neville Arena 47-35. With about 17 and a half left in the game. Big game for Auburn tonight and for Stephen Pearl as they try to build a tournament resume. So this is pretty critical as they go to Arkansas on Saturday.
Well, listen to this stretch. They go to Arkansas. That's going to be tough. Arkansas is playing great right now. Arkansas may be playing the best of anybody in the league. Then they're at Mississippi State. Auburn's better than Mississippi State on paper, there's no doubt. You go to Mississippi State, it can be a problem sometimes. Kentucky at home, look, 2 weeks ago I'd say that's a layup for Auburn. Yep. Kentucky has beaten Tennessee twice, come back from massive deficits. Kentucky's pretty good. Then they're at Oklahoma, who just beat this Vanderbilt team that Auburn's losing to. And then they finish up with Ole Miss and LSU at home, which they'll need those two, and then at Alabama. So, boy, they need to do something here, because if you lose to Vandy, lose to Arkansas, you're 14-11. Look, I don't know. It's going to take a lot for Auburn to miss the tournament because their non-conference was so good. But if they lose, let's say tonight, they lose to Arkansas, and let's say they lose to Mississippi State and Kentucky. I don't think that's crazy. Or just two of the three, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Oklahoma. They're going to be fighting for their lives.
Well, and I'm going to go back to something that I tell Andy all the time, or at least I started telling him a year ago, and it applies through the basketball team too. Coaching changes are hard. Mm-hmm. There's a reason that you don't run off and fire a coach because he was a game short of where you expected them to be. You don't do that because coaching changes are hard. Mm-hmm. You've got roster turnover to deal with. You've got chemistry that's got to be developed. Even if you hire the assistant with the same last name, it's a coaching change. And it's not the same. It's different. And sometimes it can be hard. You know, it's like Stephen Pearl said, I don't know why we're giving up 39%. We're not, he's like, we're a switching team. We should never be giving up open threes the way we are. But they're figuring each other out, right? Stephen Pearl's got to adjust to now being the head man instead of the guy in charge of the defense. The players have to adjust to the way he wants it done. Coaching changes are hard in every sport. That's why, if you can keep your coach, if your coach is doing a good job, hold on to your coach, right? Because otherwise you're going to be in a bit of a mess. Let's talk about the game tomorrow night. Got Alabama headed to Ole Miss. Ole Miss 11-12 on the season, 3-7 in the league on paper. This is a game that Alabama should win, and probably pretty handily. And here's, I think, where it gets interesting. Does the Charles Bediako situation have any effect on the forget about the basketball part? Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the mental part. I saw Nate Oates' press conference today. We talked about it during the break. He's a little butthurt. He's not happy about this. I
don't blame him. I mean,
we knew he wouldn't be.
And look, I don't blame him. He took a shot. It didn't work. I'm not upset about it personally because I feel like I don't want any pros in there. So I'm not, even though as an Alabama fan, I'm not upset. I get why Nate is, because he's looking around, like you said, the Oklahoma guy who's 23 who just joined a minute ago. Yeah, the Texas A&M guy who's been playing all year. Bucky McMillan went on a rant like, I think we shouldn't even count that Alabama game. You've got a guy playing with a temporary restraining order right now.
On a court injunction
right now.
For the whole season. So, averaging 14 a game, by the way, a better player than Bediako.
It's just ridiculous. Yeah. The whole thing's ridiculous. The whole system is ridiculous. We talked about guys Alabama got another guy in football that'll have his 7th year. They got Jamarian Latham, who is going to get his 7th year. Auburn got a guy who's going to be their 7th year in football next year. We got a guy playing that's going to get his 9th year. Yeah. He was in the same recruiting class as Micah Parsons, who's been in the NFL for 6 years.
All right, people forget this, but Diego Pavia last year got an injunction, and that was how he was allowed to play last year. Now, after the injunction, the NCAA went back and said, okay, since you got this injunction, we'll just...
Yeah, yeah. They didn't bend on Bediako, which, again, I'm okay with. I really want to – listen, I've said this over and over. I want you to have 5 years to play 5. 5 years to play 5. If you get hurt, sorry. If your grandmama dies and you want to be close, and you're like, I took off the year, sorry.
Right.
You get 5 years to play 5 years.
Let's hold the solutions on that till a little later in the show, because it's going to take a whole segment. I've got some ideas I think we could institute, and we're not far off on this. Staying with Alabama, losing Bediako, now going on the road to Ole Miss. Forget about Nate Oates' state of mind. He's a professional coach. I expect him to coach like he always coaches. Does it have any effect on the locker room? Does it have any effect on – I mean, we know it's going to have an effect on rotations and minutes for certain people. Does it have any effect on the locker room?
I don't think so. What had happened was they started – it wasn't like Bediako was in there with Aiden Sherrill. I think what they'll do is just be next man, who will probably be Noah Williamson, who we all know has just not played very well this year. I'm not speaking out of school. I'm not putting him down. He has not been nearly as good as – people thought he would be. It's not even in the same area code. In fact, the game looks too fast for him.
Well, that's another topic. But Noah Williamson, to me, it's an evaluation miss on Oates. It's a miss.
This particular year, I think Alabama had a lot of evaluation misses on the transfer portal, right? Mm-hmm. Keaton Bristow is hurt, and I think Nate Oates came out today and said something like, well, we're talking to him and the trainer and his people about whether or not he should redshirt. It wouldn't shock me if he transferred again. I'm just saying. So Taylor Bowen, when he's playing, he's been underwhelming, and then that's only when he's playing because he's been hurt some of the other times.
That's right.
But the guards have been spectacular for Alabama, and that's why they keep winning games, and that's why they're in games against really
Amari Allen has been
Amari Allen's been incredible. Been fantastic.
Is Amari Allen one of those guys who probably could be a first-round draft pick next year, but he comes back for a second year, kind of like LeBaron Philon?
I hope so.
Comes back for a second year because, hey, I can get paid pretty good, and I'm guaranteed that money. Yeah. I'm not guaranteed if I go to the draft.
I hope so, because he is he's a fabulous player. I'd love to have him back. With this signing class Alabama's bringing in, they've got a 5-star and a 4-star signed. They're still in on Caleb Holt, who's one of the best players in the state of Alabama history. Now, of course, he's not playing in the state of Alabama anymore, but it really sounds like it's going to be an Arizona-Alabama battle for him. So if Alabama were to land him and then go in the transfer portal, fingers crossed, and hit on some big bigs. You need some good bigs.
Yeah.
And Noah Williamson just hadn't worked out. But that said, so now Aiden Sherrill, he'll still have his starting spot.
But by the way, looks good.
Aiden Sherrill is playing his tail off.
Yeah.
And Noah Williamson will come in. It may mean Aiden Sherrill gets a few more minutes a game, is what I think. Or Alabama goes very small for a little while.
Yeah.
Because
I think Noah Williamson will get his time, because Noah Williamson, I mean, people forget he's Patriot League Player of the Year last year, right? Which
doesn't tell me a lot about the Patriot League.
It doesn't, but you sort of you knew the skill set was there to do it. It was a matter of whether it would translate, and it hasn't yet.
It's like he's it's almost like he's one of those freshmen that you see that gets called up to play varsity, and they just look out there and go, oh, my God, everybody's as big and strong and fast as me, if not faster. And his eyes are always so wide, like he is nervous.
Yeah.
And he needs to go out there and just play. Just play.
Aiden Sherrill, to me, is the biggest benefactor of Bediako being gone, because now I think it's going to be more minutes for him, as you just kind of hinted at. But I think it's going to be more minutes for him. And as he continues to improve, man, I mean, he's getting better and looking good. So we'll see. I mean, and we can get more into later, like, potential consequences for Alabama over the Bediako situation.
Which are 0.
256-234-6221. I'm not sure it's 0, but it's very low.
0.
0?
I feel very confident in 0.
We'll be back. More Sports Blitz Live coming up next.
Lake Martin now has a global connection for the best in pre-owned vehicles. The all-new Global Auto Exchange is now open on Cherokee Road in Alex City next to Cazador's Restaurant, and is excited to serve Lake Martin with the finest pre-owned car, truck, and SUV selection at the market's most competitive prices and most versatile finance options. Global Auto handpicks all their inventory, and with 4 lots in the region, they have a selection that won't be beat. Whether pre-owned luxury to affordable work truck, Global Auto has the vehicle for you. We reward good credit and can work with challenge credit to get you the ride you want. Visit the all-new Global Auto on Cherokee Road, Alex City for the best selection, pricing, and inventory.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Hillaby Towers is an affordable senior citizens community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East. Spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more information on Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552. That's Hillaby Towers in Alexander City.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
At Central Alabama Community College, we provide a quality education that will set you up for success. Whether you're pursuing a degree or advancing your career with technical training, CAC offers premier programs at 4 campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Prattville, and Talladega. From industrial, electronics to machining, our students are prepared for the workforce or further education. At CAC, you'll enjoy vibrant campus life, exciting athletics, and personalized support, all at an affordable price. Your future starts here at CAC. Apply today.
Visit our new locations in Gadsden and Oxford today.
Welcome back to Sports Blitz Live. JJ and Luke with you tonight. Giving everybody else the night off as we talk a little SEC basketball. We're going to talk some football later on, too. Just an update from Neville Arena. Vanderbilt currently leads Auburn 55-43 with 12:58 to go in the second. Critical game by Auburn. They need this one, and we'll see if they can, try to get something going here in the last 13 minutes of the game. All right, so we were talking before we left. I look at the SEC standings, Luke, and I think we all know this is not last year in the SEC.
No.
At the top of the league is nowhere near what it was, although I'm not ruling out Florida to get in the Final Four and have a chance to repeat.
I think Florida, when they're on their game, they're as good as anybody. The problem is they hadn't been on their game, and they don't have Walter Clayton Jr., somebody can just stroke it.
That is the difference. And there is nothing wrong with Boogie Flan.
Boogie Flan,
who's
Xavier
an excellent defensive guard, good ball distributor, but he's not as elite as Walter Clayton.
Not even close.
And so that's really the difference in this Florida team. Everything else to me looks about the same. And I do think Arkansas, and I told Andy this a couple of weeks ago, watch out for Arkansas late in the season because that's Calipari's thing. Calipari is always going to have a team that looks a little disjointed, and then by the end of the season, you're like, wow, they're playing really good basketball. That's what he does. He's done it everywhere.
Well, I think because he always has so much talent, and so they're all used to being alphas. Yeah. You get on the floor, it's like, I want the ball, and then things just slowly morph into place where you realize, okay, that guy's a better shooter than I am. As good as I was, that guy's better, so I'll rebound or I'll guard or I'll do whatever. And people start to take on their roles a little better.
You mentioned Kentucky earlier, Mark Pope. I think early in the season, people were starting to really grumble in Lexington.
No doubt.
And, he's 8-3 now in conference, 17-7 overall. They're playing good basketball, getting after it on defense pretty good. Kentucky, for real? This is a Sweet 16 or beyond kind of Kentucky team? Elite Eight, maybe?
Well, the other thing Kentucky is doing is they're getting behind big, and they're coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they came back.
That can really backfire on you.
Yeah, it can. And I think that, eventually that catches up. But you think about they got they went and beat Arkansas on the road recently. They had beaten Tennessee twice, and after giving up, they had big leads, Tennessee did. Kentucky comes back both times. They were at a big deficit at LSU, a bad LSU team, I know. But then they complete sort of a Hail Mary shot at the last second to win it. Just crazy stuff. And I think eventually that will catch up to them. For right now, though, they're looking pretty good.
For right now, it's working. All right, we talked about Arkansas. A&M, look, I love Bucky McMillan. I think it's the best story in college basketball this year.
He's a great story.
But they're 7-3 in the league, 17-6 overall. You buying it or you not buying it? I'm not fully bought in yet.
No, I think some of it is some smoke and mirrors. Some of it is they do have a professional on their team. That's okay. But they got Rylan Griffin, who is playing really well. I would love to have him on this Alabama team again. But he's playing well. They've got some really nice pieces. And I'm like you. I think eventually they'll come back to the middle of the pack a little more. You've already seen them. Obviously they lost at Alabama. They lost at home to Texas A&M. To Florida. And so I think that they're in for some more losses for sure. Probably down the stretch, I'm thinking they may go 500 or a little bit above. Still, though, very good team. I can't believe nobody in the AP poll was saying, hey, we need to rank these guys.
Yeah.
They're really good. I think they're a top 25 team.
I haven't looked at the net rankings on A&M, so maybe that has something to do with it. But, who knows. We've talked about Vandy. Tennessee. Here's the thing. This is not a vintage Tennessee team. Mm-hmm. It's not like a great Rick Barnes team. But they're 6-4 and 16-7 overall because Rick Barnes can just coach his butt off, man. That guy can coach.
Nate Ament is a good player. Mm-hmm. Like him a lot. They've got some other good guys, and they lost. His name escapes me, but the kid, Phillips, I think it's Cade Phillips from Alabama, whose dad and mom both went to Alabama, but Alabama didn't really pursue. He goes to Tennessee, and he got hurt early in the season. I'll tell you, I just noticed this. What a big game coming up Saturday. Not the sexiest for the TV market, but Texas A&M at Vanderbilt. What if Vanderbilt were to, say, lose this game at Auburn somehow? They're up 12 with 10 minutes to go, so it's going to be difficult. But if they were to lose this game and then A&M comes in, you got two teams that are seemingly in losing free fall, right, and something's got to give. So, but A&M, I'm looking at their schedule. It doesn't overly impress me. I said this Saturday. It is going to be this Saturday, and they actually play Missouri tomorrow at home. That is no gimme. Yeah, that is no gimme. But then they have Ole Miss at home. That should be a gimme. At Oklahoma, at Arkansas, Texas at home, and they finish up with Kentucky at home and LSU. So honestly, I just said I think they'll go 500 or worse or right at it for the rest of their schedule. I think they'll do a lot better than that. I didn't look at their schedule before. I just assumed they had more traps than that. There are not a lot of trappy games in there.
There's in this Auburn game that's going on now, an interesting stat line. We talked about Auburn's struggles defending the three. Vanderbilt was 6 of 13 at halftime. They are now 6 of 19. So I don't know if they just went cold or has Auburn made an adjustment, found something. I know that was a big point of emphasis for Stephen Pearl this week. All right, SEC basketball. Last year, how many teams went to the tournament? 14?
14, yeah. That won't happen this year.
All right. I see 11 that I think are still alive for the tournament right now. Florida, Kentucky, Arkansas, A&M, Vandy, Tennessee, Alabama, Mizzou, Texas, Georgia, and Auburn. Below that, I think that's the cut line. I don't think Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU, South Carolina, or Oklahoma have a shot.
I'm with you on that. Oklahoma lost just way too many games. They just beat a good Vanderbilt team, but they've lost way too many other games.
They're 2-9 in conference.
They'd have to get on an incredible streak. So the other ones you mentioned in there, like for Auburn, for instance, I think Auburn is closer to the lock side than out. But if they lose tonight and lose at Arkansas,
Saturday.
it's 14-11. And eventually you got to say, I don't care how good your schedule is, you've got a lot of losses piling up.
Right.
And you got some of those losses like, it's not a bad loss to Vanderbilt. They're ranked. It's not a bad loss to Arkansas. They're ranked. It's not a bad loss to Bama. They've been ranked most of the year. But it's just that you haven't beaten any of those guys.
That's why this game is so critical for Auburn tonight, this Vandy game, because you do go on the road to Arkansas. So if you miss that, look, there's only 8 conference games left. You lose this one, there's 7 left, and you're 5-6. You lose at Arkansas Saturday, there's 6 left, and you're 5-7, right?
Yep.
And, it's just, you start doing the math.
You still got Kentucky. You still got at Bama. You got a bunch of pitfalls.
Will 500 in the league get you in?
I think it would probably get Auburn in, yeah.
Okay.
Because I think their non-con was so good. And again, that is what I've always been preaching. Look, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm willing to let you have a couple extra losses if you scheduled in a difficult manner. And Auburn did, like Alabama's been doing for years now. Auburn finally has done it last couple of years, and I think it's paying off.
256-234-6221 if you want to jump into the show. 256-234-6221 or comment on Facebook. We'll look at those a little bit later on, too. More Sports Blitz Live coming up.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense. Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
I'm Joseph Dean with Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation in Dadeville. We're located at 16797 Highway 280, which is on the corner of 280 and 49 North. With an on-site crematory in Opelika and a cemetery in Tallapoosa County, we are a full-service funeral home. To get in touch with us, feel free to come by or call us, 256-750-0381. And for any other questions, you can visit the website at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
With football here, Martin's at Lake Martin is ready with the lake's best place for sports, fun, and entertainment. With your favorite teams on over 20 big screens. And Martin's is now open 7 days a week. Monday, trivia night. Tuesday, open cornhole tournaments. Wednesday, free pool. Thursday, our huge bingo night with food trucks. And every Friday and Saturday, live entertainment with food trucks. Sunday, enjoy NFL ticket with hot dogs and chili. This football season, make the best game plan. Go to Martin's on 34 in Dadeville, where every hour is happy hour.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full-service repair and installation on all major brands, from drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Welcome back to Sports Blitz Live, everybody. It's JJ and Luke with you tonight. Andy off tonight, rest of the crew off tonight, just us'uns. talking a little basketball, a little football, and whatever you want to talk about at 256-234-6221. Had a question on the Facebook page, Luke. Somebody wanted to know our thoughts on the 6A classification and the expanded playoff format, now including 24 teams. Obviously, AHSAA Radio Network we're both heavily involved in, so this is something we're pretty passionate about. So talk about that. Good move. It's now the biggest. It's the old 7A, so instead of 16 teams in the playoff, you're going to get 24 now.
I mean, I'm good with it. I think everything is rather fluid at this point. The problem I have with all this, and that goes for taking the private schools out, which, by the way, Oakwood Academy has already had some temporary restraining order allowing them to play in the playoffs. I don't know. I don't even know the history behind all that. It has become rather depressing for all of this to take place at the same time. I say that as a guy who is an Alabama fan and was down with Bediako being on the team. At the same time, I totally understand how this goes against, what college should be. But it also makes me want to shout from the mountaintops, hey, it's all against what college should be now.
No doubt.
So I'm looking at the same thing when it comes to high school, that, I just, at what point does it quit being actual high school football and just a college feeder league? Right. And those are the things that worry me. I'm not saying my passion for high school football or college football or basketball, whatever, is waned. I'm going to say I'm looking at everything with a very worried look, and I'm very concerned about the future of all this. And it also seems like it's all happening so fast. Whenever, unless you have incredible leadership, it's all happening so fast that I think some people, the NCAA being the better example, they just sort of throw their hands up and say, what do you want us to do, man?
Well, I think, all right, I'll go there with this. I am more concerned about Alabama high school athletics right now than I am college football. And I'll tell you why. Because in terms of the health of college football as a consumer product, it's never been better. Ratings have never been higher.
Right.
There's never been more money flowing in to the system. So college football, in that respect, is very healthy. Now, there got to be some changes. Here's what I want to table some of the changes. Let's talk about that top of the hour, but let's stick on the high school thing. Where I'm more concerned about, like, high school sports in Alabama than I am college right now is because of there being this thing of, well, I mean, if my kid wants to go play in the school 2 towns over and it's a better opportunity for him, I should be able to do that. That's not really the right. I mean, the communities we grow up in, and we go, and you and I think both graduated from private schools, so we understand that argument, right? At the same time, it's like, okay, that's fine, but I can't take money away from school X for you to give to school Z.
Now, okay, and that's
pay your own way, right?
Does
that make sense?
100%.
Okay.
And I'm with you, and part of me does understand we are in our early to mid 50s, and we're looking at this in a very nostalgic way. I look back on my time, say, at Indian Springs. Number one, they didn't recruit me for basketball. They didn't recruit me for anything.
Right.
I graduated 42nd out of a class of 49.
There you go.
It's just that everybody in there, with the exception of me and the 7 people behind me, were very smart.
Yeah.
And it turned out that I played a lot of basketball and we did really well when I was there. But even so, with all that, I had a basketball game that was rained out because we had a hole in the gym. That wouldn't happen now. And so part of me appreciates that you need to go through those moments. There is part of, and I'm with you what you're saying, like, hey, there's Jaquez Wilkes, right at Wadley, 1A school, and he stays. He probably could have gone somewhere else and played. He probably could have transferred. Thompson probably would have loved to have him move, or IMG, whoever. And he stayed, and there's something to be said for that. Like,
it's his community.
That's his community. Now, what you're seeing now is guys going from here to there, and they're moving around, and their parents are getting other jobs. And I'm not saying that you can't go and make yourself better by challenging yourself. I mean, look, let's also say if Jaquez Wilkes had gone to Thompson, for example, that there was no rumor of that, just use an example, that he would have probably faced better competition every single day. He would have iron sharpens iron. That whole thing, his visibility, through the roof. Because there's one thing you say about Jaquez Wilkes right now, man, I mean, you and I called his championship game. Man, we love this kid. Wonder how it's going to translate at a much bigger level.
Well, you know, people wonder why it took a couple of years for Derrick Henry to get on the field at Alabama.
Yeah.
Yulee High School is very small.
Yeah.
And his level of competition wasn't very good. You wonder why it took Arch Manning a couple of years to figure out how to play at Texas.
Yeah.
Have you seen his high school film?
Yeah.
He's playing against me and Luke out there.
Yeah.
Now, and then I'll relate this back to a personal story, similar to what you were talking about. Small 2A private school. My dad, and some of you have heard me tell this story, my dad played at Lanier in Montgomery, and then went on and played at Auburn. Was offered by Alabama and Florida, Mississippi State. He was a good player. And I was a good player. My freshman year, my dad begged me to move to Montgomery with him because my mom and I didn't live there. We lived in Camden. Begged me to move to Montgomery with him and go to Lanier. He's like, it's going to make you a better player. You'll play against better competition. You know, it'll be da-da-da-da-da. Or maybe it was Lee as the district he was in, whichever one. And, you know, he had it all set up for me to do that. But that's where my friends were, right?
Yeah.
And I liked my coaches.
Yeah.
And I liked my team, you know, and, you know, rah-rah school spirit, all that kind of thing. And I wound up being a good player. I wound up being all-state at that level. I probably wouldn't have been at Lanier. May have turned out to be a better player overall than I was, but I still wound up. I mean, I didn't take them, but I had offers at Livingston and West Georgia. And, you know, Western Kentucky gave a look. Sanford offered a partial. So there were some offers in there, right? And so I did, I think, the best I could in the situation I was in. But the decision wasn't made because this is my football opportunity. The decision was made because it's where my friends are.
Well, and it's where your home was.
It's just I've grown up here. I don't want to move.
And look, you know, John Cougar Mellencamp's like, I was born in a small town. I can breathe in a small town. And again, there's nothing wrong with wanting to better your opportunities. I understand that. The problem is when everybody wants to better their opportunities and nobody looks at it like, you know what I could do? I could plant roots here and make this place better if I stay here and work hard. Because what I'm scared of is if all the good athletes are leaving to better themselves all over the state, well, they're all going to end up at a Thompson, at a Hoover, at a McGill-Tulane, at a Central Phoenix City, you know, on and on into the night, at a BRHS.
And that's such a fallacy in this day and age, too, because with this thing right here, I promise you, if you can play, somebody's going to find you.
Yeah.
You can be found if you want to play and you've got the raw ability to be able to do it.
But I think what some people look at it like, JJ, is, okay, you see it now. I mean, my daughter, 9-year-old daughter, is fascinated watching like a bunch of kids her age or maybe even a little younger, a little older, whatever, on YouTube. And now she may not know it, but they've monetized this. So that what I'm saying is you probably want to go somewhere now and increase your visibility so that you can do your brand, then your TikTok blows up.
I hate that. Your brand. I hate that.
But see, and that I'm with you. Like, not everybody needs
I don't want to be old guy yelling at the clouds, but
I know.
Like, if you're 16, you don't need a brand.
Well, here's my thing on that. My wife, who is in PR, and she does an amazing job, probably the best PR firm at least for her size in the state, maybe in the Southeast, right? She does a great job. But she has a habit of calling everything amazing. She's like, that's amazing. What an amazing job. And I told her one day.
It's a crutch.
And one day I told her, I said, if everything's amazing, nothing is.
Yeah.
And that if everybody's got a brand, nobody does. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm like, we can't all be Mr. Beast.
Colin Cowherd loves to say this, and I think it's one of the truest things ever. Nothing is everything, but everything is something.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. We'll take another break. We'll come back. Your calls if you want to get in. If you're watching the end of this Auburn game, it's 14-point lead for Vandy.
Gosh.
256-234-6221. We'll be back on Sports Blitz Live.
Two Rivers Lumber Company has a proud heritage in the state of Alabama and is excited to announce we are opening a new facility in the Lake Martin area late 2025. Our company specializes in southern yellow pine dimension lumber, and we plan to employ over 150 in our new community of Lake Martin. Two Rivers Lumber Company is a family-run business with over 45 years of service to the state. And we are happy to become a part of the Lake Martin community and want to wish the best of luck to all area athletic teams in all competitions. Two Rivers Lumber, Lake Martin's newest community partner, coming soon.
Russell Medical Total Fitness is ready. Are you? Do you have arthritis? They can help. Pilates are for everyone. Ask them about the Silver Sneakers program. Get moving in a class now, or if you prefer, personal training on land and water are available. They have invested in new equipment for you. Invest in yourself with a dedicated and knowledgeable staff. Call today, 256-329-7623.
What makes Zaxby's Giant Chicken Finger Quesadilla so giant? Crispy fingers, sauce, and melty cheese. Zaxby's Giant Chicken Finger Quesadillas. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's. Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Bundle your home and auto and save money with State Farm's personal price plan. Contact State Farm agent Ron Carroll today at 256-378-6631 or visit him on Highway 280 in Childersburg. Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer availability. Eligibility may vary.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Sports Blitz live, 256-234-6221. If you want to join the discussion, it's been pretty spirited, man. There's more to talk about than you think this time of year. Those of you who are interested in not watching it on television, Auburn currently trails Vandy by 12 with 5.5 to go. They've gotten it down to 10, gotten it down to 11 a few times, just haven't been able to get it down, hit a big shot, get it to 8, get it to 7. And have a chance to really close that gap. They have not been able to do that yet. Just keeping track on something, because I do think this is important for Auburn, not just tonight, but going forward. 3-point defense improved in the second half. Vandy was 6 of 13 at halftime. They are now 1 of 8 in the second half. So they've been getting it done there, but now the 2-point defense is faltering. So you wonder, is it an over-adjustment, right? So
yeah,
you wonder about that sometimes.
Well, and I'll tell you, here's the other thing. Mark Byington's a good coach.
He's very good.
And
he was good at James Madison, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's kind of funny. James Madison's become cranking out some good coaches, aren't
they? Yeah.
But, yeah, I think, Auburn just now has cut it to 8. So let's see what happens.
That is 8 is big with 5 minutes to play because you can work with that.
Yeah.
And we'll see if Auburn's able to do it. Look, if you get that arena cranked up, as we know, things can happen there. We were we got a little sidetracked on the high school playoff situation. Somebody asked a question on Facebook about the 6A playoffs expanding. 7A was always 16 teams. It's going to 24 in the new 6A. That was a late decision that was made there. And they asked if we thought it was a good thing, and they said they thought it was much needed. I don't know how needed it was, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I think more chances for people to compete is a good thing. We're probably still going to look at that classification as, about the top 3 or 4 teams and go, probably, isn't that kind of where we're going with that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, and again, just because there are more teams in the playoffs doesn't mean I don't think Thompson's the favorite.
Right.
Right. I mean, you still got Trent Seaborn over there, and Central Phoenix City still got a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
Hoover's still really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's all the same. I mean, Hewitt Trustful, by the way, apropos of nothing, but my daughter, my third grade daughter, plays on one of like a community team, not AAU, but sort of like that. She's too young for that stuff. But and they go all the way up to 8th grade, and the 6th grade Hewitt Trustful team was playing.
Okay.
And they had a 6'2" girl out there who had broader shoulders than me.
Okay.
And she was obviously dominating. And I said, good Lord, there's no way that girl's in 6th grade. They said, you're right. She's in 5th grade. She's playing up. And then her mom and dad were there. Her mom and dad were both about my height.
Yeah.
And, Hewitt Trustful, my point is Hewitt Trustful's always got dudes, too, and dudettes.
So, it's what you can always spot it when you see it, right? You know it when you get there. But anyway, we'll move on to the next topic. Andy was gracious enough to send us the sheet that he had planned before he got to not feeling well tonight. SEC bracketology as of today. So we'll start. This is where bracketology had it today. Who's doing bracketology now? Who's the
Joe Lenardi.
Lenardi, okay.
Jerry Palm also does it for CBS.
Arizona won in the West. Michigan won in the Midwest. UConn won in the South. Duke won in the East. Sounds pretty cut and dried. At least the first two there. I mean, Arizona and Michigan look to be like they're going to be a handful. Mm-hmm. Now, SEC teams in the West. Lenardi has Florida as the 3 seed, Bama as the 5, and Texas A&M as the 8. He's got in the Midwest Arkansas as a 6, Kentucky as a 7, Auburn as the 8.
Okay.
In the South, he's got Tennessee as the 5, Texas as the 11. In the East, Vandy as a 5, and Georgia as a 10. So
where do you have Bama again?
As a 5 seed in the West.
I can buy that. I just hate being wherever Arizona is. I know they lost to Kansas, but
no, you really want to try to get East if you can.
I want to get away from Arizona and Michigan for as long as I can.
Yeah.
I feel like those two are on a collision course. I know Arizona lost last night. It's funny about Darren Peterson, the freshman for Kansas, who's been so incredible. The problem is he's only incredible every so often because he's not playing very much.
So, yeah, he's missed 11 games. And there was another game where he took himself out early in the second half.
And he sat out this game because he had the flu, and somebody caught a staffer or somebody with ESPN.
It wasn't a staffer. It was
somebody with ESPN.
It's somebody with ESPN.
Texting something like, hey, I heard that he was sort of not trying hard at the practice, and he said he wasn't feeling great, but the coach said, hey, if you can't give me all you got, then go on. He just left. He said, deuces. Well, I mean, Kansas ended up winning the game anyway, but I saw a funny tweet that said, Darren Peterson, this is it's a generational talent. He can shoot like Jordan. He can jump like Vince Carter, can rebound like Hakeem Olajuwon. The only problem with him is he hates basketball.
Yeah, well, there was a game earlier this year, and look, not casting aspersions, I don't know. His agent sits behind him on the bench. Like a lot of these players, he's got representation, which you should have with that kind of money involved. But somebody caught him within camera shot of him. It was about 5 minutes into the second half, having a conversation with his agent, and he just never went back in the game. The agent, he had a conversation with his agent, had a conversation with an assistant coach, and then just never went back in. Missed the last 13 minutes of the game.
That's wrong. I mean, that's screwed up.
I'm just telling you, if I've got the number 1 pick in the NBA draft, I'm not. It's not happening, man. Give me DeBenza. I'll take that all day.
Yeah, I mean, again, I know the kid's immensely talented. Maybe I'd miss out, but there's just got to be something in there that you go, come on, this can't be right. And again, I know that, like, if he goes back in, he's risking injury and he's doing that. But you risk injury getting out of the car every day.
Yeah.
Or getting in a car.
Hey, I'm going to be 55 later this month. I risk injury getting out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. I risk injury getting up out of his chair.
As who was it? Was it Berman who used to say, or maybe it was Van Pelt who used to say, he's day to day?
No, I think that was actually, it was either Bob Lee or Keith Oberman, actually.
Okay. Yeah, he's day to day. We're all day.
Keith Oberman is more like minute to minute at this point, but yeah.
Right. We're going to step aside, take another break. We'll come back for the second hour of Sports Blitz Live, 256-234-6221. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
At Central Alabama Community College, we provide a quality education that will set you up for success. Whether you're pursuing a degree or advancing your career with technical training, CAC offers premier programs at 4 campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Prattville, and Talladega. From industrial, electronics to machining, our students are prepared for the workforce or further education. At CAC, you'll enjoy vibrant campus life, exciting athletics, and personalized support, all at an affordable price. Your future starts here at CAC. Apply today.
Glory's Furniture Express, your expressway to savings. Come on, get on board. Glory's Furniture saves you more. We try harder in every way, so drive a little and save today. Glory's Furniture Express, your expressway to savings.
The all-new Winter Timber is now open, located right next to the Walmart Market across from the Auburn Mall. If the outdoors is your lifestyle, Winter Timber is your new headquarters. From rifles, ammo, and hunting supplies, camo, and all the outdoor essentials, they've got it in stock and ready for you. Winter Timber is here to serve Auburn, Opelika, and the entire Lake Martin area, and they'll make the drive worth it. For the best selection and the best service in outdoor gear, one name says it all: Winter Timber, the best in outdoor needs.
Hi, I'm Abby Guy, Vice President at Riverbank and Trust. They say that most banks offer the same products, but Riverbank offers something most can't: personal connection. We love getting to know our customers by name and making them feel special with every interaction. It's a feeling of warm hospitality you won't find anywhere else. Experience it for yourself.
Welcome back to Sports Blitz Live. JJ and Luke with you on this Tuesday night. Auburn currently back down by 9. They had closed it to 4, now back down by 9 against Vandy and Neville Arena. A couple of minutes left in that one. Not looking good, and we can spend some time after the game maybe talking about the ramifications of that. But I do want to get into a little bit of what we started on earlier. The NCAA, I think, that one of the positives, as we said, that may come out of this Bediako ruling and the court case, and the other court cases that are now churning because of where we are, is now I think the NCAA has to do something that is much needed. You've got to redefine amateurism and professional. You've got to get a definition of what it means to be a professional who is no longer eligible to compete at the NCAA level. Because the old thing of, well, they got paid to play, so they're no longer eligible. That's out the window. It's been out the window. But you've got to redefine now. It can't be done on a case-by-case basis. There's got to be, and you were talking about some of the things you'd like to see done. You're in favor of the 5 for 5. Here's the way I would do it. You got 5 to play 4. When you sign out of high school, it's a 2-year deal. You're coming in for 2 years. After 2 years, you have 1 free transfer, 1, without penalty. This is all, having the caveats for the coaching change or whatever. After 2 years, you've got 1 free transfer if you want it, or you can stay where you are. You can earn your 5th year to play back by graduating within 4. You do that, you're going to earn your 5th year back and another opportunity to transfer. So if you're highly valued and, you're at I don't know, Tulane, like Darian Mensah a couple of years ago, and somebody wants to pay you $6 million, go get it. But I think you've got to have some caveats, some encouragement, and especially I think the 2 years out of high school, I think is critical to all of this, and I think 1 free transfer is critical to all of this, wherever you place it.
Fair, and I could get behind that. I just look at it like the 5 for 5 because my point is this, and I think you get 1 free transfer whenever you want it because – and with no caveats, no like, well, what if their coach leaves? I mean, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, again, the reason I say 5 for 5 is because I look at it like the high school ranks. You can be in 8th grade. I mean, in some cases, we've even seen 7th graders, but mostly 8th grade through 12th, that if you get hurt your 8th grade year, you don't get to make that up.
Right.
And so I'm thinking, okay, it's fair if you just get 5 years, and if you get hurt, I've heard so many people talk about, well, Chuck Bediako needs to learn consequences. There are consequences for things that happen in life. Okay, well then explain to me how this guy's getting 9 years that's going to Montana State or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not facing any. Yeah, or you can say, well, he got hurt. Okay, but we all get hurt sometimes in life.
But it's not. This isn't a medical red shirt. Everybody gets a medical red shirt. You have a medical red shirt available to you. You're basically giving him a 4th medical red shirt.
I'm looking at it like the 5 years, and you get to play your red shirt. Because here's the thing, you can sort of play your red shirt anyway right now. I mean, they've worked it out where I think you can play 8 games and still red shirt.
I think it's 9.
May be 9, whatever. I mean, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
I mean, so just say you have 5 to play 5, and if you get hurt all 5 years, I'm sorry, your eligibility's done.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it sucks. I know it does kind of suck. There's no doubt about it. But we've all dealt with something that sucks.
Yeah.
And we are raising entire generations to think that, hey, you know what's funny? I just saw something today that in Mississippi, several poor kids are reading at a much higher level than those of the same grade in California. And you say, oh, my God, how could that be possible? California has everything. Mississippi's got nothing. Well, because, Mississippi is like, okay, you got to read to pass.
Yeah.
In California, it's, well, if you don't turn your homework in, get it tomorrow. No, you don't want to do it tomorrow? Well, just tell me when you're good with it.
Right.
And so nobody learns anything. And because they're so worried about failing somebody and hurting their feelings, some people need their feelings hurt.
Yeah.
You need your feelings hurt to get better.
Yeah.
And that's okay. It's, again, Charles Bediako got his feelings hurt by the G League. Now he's getting his feelings hurt by the NCAA. And I'm sort of down with it. I'm like, that sucks. I hate it for Chuck. But it is also life. It's not the worst thing that ever happened. He'll be all right.
No, he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Because if nothing else, he'll go play in Europe next year and he'll make some money. But, all right, so that brings us back into the Bediako conversation. We touched on this earlier. Consequences. Now, Charlie Baker, president of the NCAA, crowed a lot today after the thing. They don't win a lot of cases, so, take your victory lap. I get it. But, two, he said something the other day when he was asked, well, would you maybe punish Alabama? Don't let them into the tournament, something like that. And he made a very good point. It goes beyond athletics. He said, for a lot of very good reasons, when you lose a court case, you don't get to go back and punish the people who beat you in court. And that's like a fair legal system, right? Because I have rights to be able to go to the courts and say, look, this person's unfairly costing me an opportunity. And if I have that right, you can't come back and punish them for that. So, no, that's off the table. The vacating wins, it's off the table. All of that it's 100% off the table.
And if it weren't off the table, they never would have played him. That's the whole reason.
That's right. They never would have played him if it wasn't off the table. And by the way, that clause in the temporary restraining order is not unusual. There's clauses like that in a lot of TROs.
Because it's like, hey, look, if they do happen to win and he hadn't been playing this whole time, you've sort of screwed them.
Yeah.
And
him.
Now, if somebody wants to say, well, doesn't A&M get screwed? Doesn't Auburn get screwed? And doesn't Missouri get screwed? I mean, frankly, A&M and Auburn had ample opportunities to beat Alabama anyway.
Yeah.
Charles Bediako wasn't necessarily the deciding factor.
No.
Everybody keeps saying, well, he scored 12 points against Auburn. So somebody else may have scored those points.
Yeah. But now I do believe that there is a potential consequence for Alabama in the Bediako thing. And and we'll never know because we don't get to listen in to the selection committee on Selection Sunday. It would not surprise me if Alabama's sitting in a position where the net ranking and the bracketology kind of has them slotted as a 4, and they make them a 5. Or maybe they're 5 in the East, we're going to send them out West. There's something like that. Because you're dealing with individuals with feelings and, opinions and so forth and so on. It's not the idea that the NCAA is going to come in and take wins away or give A&M or give Auburn a win, it's just not going to happen.
And we'll never know if they do it that way because, frankly, the NCAA selection committee does so many dumb moving around things all the time anyway. Right. We won't know if it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
We won't know if it's like, did y'all do that to punishment or just because y'all do these stupid things all the time?
Generally, if you look at the net rankings, you can about slot a team. The net rankings are so big in that decision-making process. But if you see one that is, I won't say drastically, but more off than you might expect from the net rankings, then I think you could read something in it.
If Alabama's supposed to be a 5 and they get to be a 10, we'll know something's up. But that won't happen. Right. At the very least, if they're supposed to be a 5, they might be a 6, as you and I discussed. Yeah. And frankly, I can see an upside to that.
Yeah, you don't have to play the 5-12 game.
You don't have to play the 5-12, and you don't have to play you play the 1 later on.
Yeah. You get on the 2 end of the bracket.
I mean, assuming you keep winning, yeah.
Assuming you keep winning. That's the thing that I think we got to kind of focus on next because this Auburn game's about to be over. We're going to come back, talk about that. It is a 6-point game currently. You're watching Sports Blitz Live. We're coming back.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City. Adams Motorsports of Montgomery knows it's the best time to ride. Right now, get the best deals on all of our Suzuki and Kawasaki street bikes, side-by-sides, four-wheelers, and dirt bikes. Adams Motorsports has it all, and our inventory is vast. Get out there, ride the streets and trails, and let Adams Motorsports make your pleasure our business. With family customer service and service after the sale. It's time to ride, so come see us on Eastern Boulevard, Montgomery, or online at adamsmotorsports.com.
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SDC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full-service repair and installation on all major brands, from drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
Welcome back to Sports Blitz Live here on a Tuesday night. JJ and Luke with you. Filling in for Andy, and I'm filling in for Andy. You're here as your normal self, Luke. As we go through this Tuesday night, it is final now in Neville Arena, 84-76, the final score. Auburn did close it to 4 points at one point there with about 2.5 minutes to go, Luke. But that was short-lived. It went from 4 back to 9 real fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, real fast. And I think there was a technical in there. I didn't get to see it, but a technical in there and a foul against SWA that really hurt Auburn. And, you know, in the end, say what you want to, but this is 2 losses to 2 teams that, frankly, Auburn probably should have beaten. I mean, you know, Auburn was favored in both of these games. They should at the very least have split these games.
Yeah.
And then to not split them is very painful because, like you said, you go to Arkansas now. Auburn had a nice little winning streak there with a win at Florida mixed in.
Yep.
Now you're about to go on an equal losing streak.
Yeah, and it's and like you said, it gets tougher because now you got to turn around and go on the road to an Arkansas team that's been pretty red hot lately. You know, for Auburn, I don't know. This drops them now under 500 in the league, 5-6. Got to find some wins. I'm with you. I think 8-8 in conference, you know, is probably going to get them where they want to be in the postseason. Less than 500 though. I don't know.
At first, I was thinking it's going to be tough to keep them out, but I think it's one of those things. There's not concrete. You have to wait and see what all these other teams do. I mean, Auburn, if they are under 500 in SEC play or right at 500, you better hope there's not a lot of upsets in tournaments.
Right.
And again, I'll go on my rant about that. I hate the fact that you get a free bid with any kind of conference tournament. I hate it. I think it's so dumb that you allow teams with losing records an opportunity to get a free bid. The better thing to do, and while I love going to the SEC tournament, I do love it. I love going to the SEC championship game. It is irrelevant now. We have screwed it up, so let's not do it anymore.
I agree with you on the football side. I'll say this on the basketball side. Because you have 68 teams that get in, you could allow the conference tournament winners to take a slot.
Even if they have a losing record.
And
that doesn't make you mad a little bit.
It's not going to knock out an actual contender. Because my problem with the football thing is this, like the G6 representative last year, you know, that whole deal, Notre Dame should have been in the playoff. Notre Dame should have been in the playoff.
Yeah,
and that because Notre Dame was a team that actually could have gotten on a run.
Agreed.
And gone deep in that playoff. Tulane and James Madison are not going deep in that playoff no matter what. No matter who they drew, no matter what their seed was, they were not going deep in that playoff. So, you know, BYU, I think, maybe had a chance to win a playoff game or two. So, I think when you leave out teams that have a chance to make a run, that's a problem. But with 68 teams in the tournament, the teams that get left out are borderline anyway.
I'm fine with saying that, okay, teams that are borderline getting left out. I'm not fine with them saying, let's leave them out for teams with a losing record. You showed me all year you're not good enough. Right. You showed me all year long you stink, and you get hot for a weekend and I'm supposed to be impressed. I think that sucks. I think that is anti-everything. I think that is the TikTok.
Yeah, I can't go with you on this one. We've agreed on most stuff. I can't go with you on that one because basketball is a tournament sport. I mean,
agreed. It is
a tournament sport, and if you get hot and win a tournament,
then I got a better idea.
Yeah,
you take all the bubble teams. Yeah. Go ahead and fill out the teams that are locks, and you take everybody else. And you put them in various pods of tournaments. Say the winner of this pod gets in, the winner of that pod gets in, the winner of that pod gets in. I think that'd be just as much fun. I don't
necessarily have a problem with that.
Look, I don't need to see South Carolina play Mississippi State in Nashville this year. I just don't need that.
That's going to happen.
No, I'm saying in the first round.
Oh yeah, the first round.
I'm saying Wednesday night.
So you're saying what would you lower it to? 12 to get in?
Well, first of all, I would say that,
let's talk SEC tournament.
The SEC tournament. Here's what I think you could
instead of the double bye.
Yeah, I would say you lower it to the top 12 teams or top 10 teams or whatever, something like that. Top 12 probably in the SEC. I would say take out maybe not do it that way. Maybe say take out the 4 worst teams in your conference. Every year, by the standings, by all the tiebreakers, the forward, and what that does, JJ, is towards the end of the year, if you're on the cusp of like, oh my God, I'm either not going to make my conference tournament or I am, you're playing harder then too.
And probably the only reason that you would watch like a South Carolina versus Oklahoma late season game.
Correctamundo. And that's what I'm saying. So that is it. Okay, there's an idea.
There's an idea. And I do think because you could take away one bye instead of a double bye, you get the one bye.
Which is plenty.
And then you drop the last 4 and play a 12-team tournament.
And we won't do it because it's more content when you do the tournaments this way. I understand that.
Television rules the day.
But again, that's why I say, okay, so we're all worried about we got to keep all these things sacred, but we don't mind it when we have 2 teams that have no business playing for a national championship or playing each other for the right to move on to play for a national championship. It's stupid.
Yeah. I used to say that a 16 would never beat a 1. There was no chance it was ever going to happen. A bomb hits a rock, Martians land, in Strand Park. 16's never beaten a 1. And then it happened.
It's happened twice, yeah.
It's happened twice. So, that's but again, I want to differentiate. Not all sports are the same. Football is not a tournament sport. Basketball is such a tournament sport.
Agreed. I'll say this, though. Now the 16 beat the 1. Did it make that tournament any better? I'd argue it made it worse.
I don't know. I mean, it's a historic thing to watch. It's something unique and different, and you get that sometimes.
Here's the problem with Cinderellas. And I always hated that term Cinderella because really they shouldn't be called the ugly stepsister. Cinderella was hot.
Yeah.
Everybody liked Cinderella. She was hot when she was a maid. She was hot when she was in the good dress. Right. So, but the thing about Cinderella
Don't get me wrong. I'm not going Brando on you. I'm not putting this in football. This is strictly a basketball.
He's the worst, by the way. But so underdogs, everybody loves an underdog. But what they forget is, the underdog won. Oh, wait a minute. Now we got to see him play next week. What if Tulane had beaten Ole Miss this year in football? Now we've got to watch Tulane go in the second round. They get. Really? That's what we got to do. They got to go play Georgia.
Right.
Come on. I'm so tired of these participation trophy things. If we're going to have 68 teams, let's get the best 68 in there. The best 68 we can find. And I know that is somewhat arbitrary. Yeah. I know you could probably argue numbers 50 through 70. Okay, yeah. I get it. But I'm not going to ever argue for the team that's 11 and 20.
Yeah, I'm okay with the NCAA basketball tournament at 68 teams, getting the automatic qualifiers and taking all of that. I'm okay with it, and maybe it's just because I grew up with a 64-team tournament. It's just fond memories of that. I don't know. I'm a whole other animal on football because football is not the same. I can see a George Mason winning some basketball games.
Well, and they have.
I can't see a James Madison winning some football
I
games.
totally agree with you. And look, everybody goes, "Oh, you hated the NC State story." First of all, I didn't hate the NC State story. Secondly, they were a freaking 6 seed.
You talking about Valvano?
Yeah, they were a 6 seed. It wasn't like they were a 12 seed. Yeah. They were a 6, which means that technically 6 times 4 is 24. They're a top 25 team. That's not nuts to think they'd win a basketball tournament.
That's right. All right, so once again, Auburn falls to Vandy in Auburn tonight. Want to talk about that game? Want to talk about anything else? 256-234-6221. Sports Blitz Live. We're coming right back.
Along with fall, there's huge falling prices at Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor for all your tractor, implements, and riding lawnmower needs. All remaining Spartan mowers must go for next year's models. And besides the year-end low prices, you can still get 0% interest up to 60 months. Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor also has a huge selection of Mahindra tractors of all sizes with full implements packages that range from harvest or just getting your hunting site prepped. Mahindra also has up to 84 months 0% financing. So now's the time. Score big with the Lake's exclusive Spartan and Mahindra dealer. Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor, Highway 280 across from the Home Depot.
L&M Pawn and Gun, located in the USA Factory Stores in Opelika, is East Alabama and West Georgia's complete gun, tactical, and pawn shop. It invites the region to shop over 500 firearms in stock, on the floor, and ready for sale at the market's best values. At L&M Pawn and Gun, we specialize in all tactical guns, equipment, and parts, including AK-47 and AR-15s. Specialized parts for tactical guns as well as suppressors and other parts you can't find anywhere. L&M Pawn and Gun has it all in the USA Factory Stores in Opelika, or shop online, lmpawnandgun.com.
A fresh start begins at home. This new year, Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air is bringing comfort your way with maintenance inspections starting at just $29 and installations as low as $50 a month. Start the year right with Dixie.
Craving pizza done right? Come to Lake Martin Pizza, where flavor meets the lake, with 2 locations, 63 South in Alexander City and Highway 49 South in Dadeville. Grab a 14 or 18-inch specialty pizza or build your own masterpiece. Go half and half your way. In a hurry, stop in for our lunch specials. Hot, fresh pizza by the slice, served daily. We've got more than just pizza. Try our fresh salads, cheesy breadsticks, garlic knots, and sweet cinnamon twists. Lake days, game nights, or family dinners, Lake Martin Pizza hits the spot every time.
I'm Joseph Dean with Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation in Dadeville. We are located at 16797 Highway 280, which is on the corner of 280 and 49 North. With an on-site crematory in Opelika and a cemetery in Tallapoosa County, we are a full-service funeral home. To get in touch with us, feel free to come by or call us, 256-750-0381. And for any other questions, you can visit the website at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
All right, welcome back to Sports Blitz Live. JJ and Luke on a Tuesday night. 256-234-6221. Talking sports with you and going to the phone line. Caller, you're on Sports Blitz Live.
Hey, Luke, how you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. I just like to say one thing.
Yes, sir.
You know, college sports has done turned pro.
Yeah.
That's right. Done turned pro football.
Look, it's pro football, pro basketball, pro everything. I agree with you.
That's right. And dadgummit, I mean, it's done took the... I love college football. I love college basketball. But it's done got to be a money thing. And all these top teams, like Texas Tech, and all of them up there, it's got money. I mean, oil money and everything. they got money to operate, and you take these other schools, they ain't got the kind of money.
Well,
and and you take that Indiana team. Look at the money they got, and they went out and got. I mean, you can say, well, hey, about the players and everything, but they had money to put in their program. Do you agree?
Now, let me say this about that. I've thought about this a lot, and I've thought there is part of me, my inner dialogue wants to say, oh, no, now Texas and Texas A&M and Ohio State and Michigan and Texas Tech, and Miami, these teams with this money flowing from every orifice, they are going to dominate the sports. And frankly, they are getting a lot of the big players. And then I have to remind myself that, hey, Alabama and Auburn and LSU and Georgia, they all also have some built-in advantages that, say, Wyoming and Boise State and Oklahoma State and things like that and Kansas State don't have, in that high school football means so much more around these parts. So we have naturally had better recruiting bases. And so we have advantages that we've had for years, and it's just sort of been like, and Kansas State can be like, man, we can't get anybody to come here. We're all the way out here in Manhattan, Kansas, and we're always like tough. Well, now if you're Texas Tech and you're all the way out there in Lubbock, you're in no man's land, and somebody says, hey, we're paying kids now. They have a former player who's worth several $1 billion, and he's like, I'm going to start buying players. And I kind of get it. I'm not saying I like it. I'm saying I understand why it's happening. I wish it wasn't. I wish we could put the genie back in the bottle. We cannot. We've got to find a way that guys, Gary, like you and me and JJ, can live with the sport, still find our love for the sport, yet understand that there are going to be some changes which we just don't agree with. We just have to make it a little bit more equitable than it is now. The word parity was thrown around forever when it comes to playoffs. Well, now there is a huge disparity in terms of, Alabama and Auburn can't outspend Texas or Miami.
No.
That's clear as day.
Well, there's even a bigger, though. Alabama and Auburn, I would still put in the upper levels.
They're in the upper echelons, yeah.
But, you get past about the top 15 or 20.
Yeah.
And then you're really operating at a disadvantage. If you look at Mississippi State, look, I think Jeff Lebby's done a pretty decent job at Mississippi State, but he can't keep players and he can't get players. And that's just a fact of life because they don't have – Ole Miss has the lawyers, at least in Mississippi, that they can turn to. Mississippi State's base is going to be farmers and vets. It's not the same.
Outside of the number time they turned number one with Dan Mullen, though, Mississippi State's never had the players, so they're kind of used to it. But, Gary, continue if you'd like to.
No, you answered my question. I used to love college ball and basketball and everything, but now the money's in it, and it's just ruined the sport for me.
And let me say this about that too, Gary, because I promise you, I'm right there with you, okay? But I think if I could just came up here and said that same stuff, I think there'd be a lot of people who would agree with me, but they'd also be like, hey, we got to move on and find out what we can do. And I will also say this, JJ brought it up earlier, that the ratings for college football, the money for college football, the everything else that is a cottage industry from college football is kicking butt. So it's really hard when guys like me and you and JJ say, man, my passion is waning. It reminds me, I'm a big Simpsons fan. There was a Simpsons episode where Homer Simpson taught Moe Szyslak, the bartender in town, how to make a drink, and Moe never gave him credit for it. And Homer was upset that he wasn't getting paid for it. So he said, well, you just lost a customer, and the whole time Moe was just picking up dollar bills from everybody wanting to buy that very drink, and he couldn't hear him. And that's the way I feel like college football, you lost a fan while everybody else is rushing to it. That's what's scaring me.
Hey, Gary, thank you so much for the call.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Gary.
Look, I'll say this. I enjoy the hell out of the games.
Yeah.
Every single one. I don't like some of the stuff that goes on, and I'm going to compare it to something, and it's apples and oranges. It's not the same. But about, I'm going to say 25 years ago, and I really think the first person in the Southeastern Conference to do this was Philip Fulmer. He was the first coach that I remember in the SEC really going national with his recruiting, right? I mean, Fulmer started pulling players from all over the place.
He big,
Northeast,
North Carolina,
West Coast.
California.
Yeah. And it kind of became a thing. Now, Nick Saban mastered it. He was the best. He was the best we've ever seen doing that. But you start to see other coaches, and national recruiting was a bit of a turnoff for me. And it took some getting used to for me because I always loved the idea that, 65%, 70% of the players, I could tell you where their high school is, man. I drive by there.
And that was cool.
And that's something that I miss, right? And if they weren't from Alabama, they were from Mississippi or Georgia or from North Florida or whatever.
They weren't from Miami typically. Well, Derek Thomas was from Miami, but now you even go back to the '92 game.
Yeah.
That's probably, at least for our generation, that's the game. I mean, look, I've seen better Alabama teams. I've seen better Alabama games.
Right.
But that team holds a special place, Mark, because I was in college at the time and all these things. But you look across that offensive line, you see a lot of dudes. See Jay Barker from Trussville. You see, Robert Stewart, I know, was from the state. George Teague was from Montgomery. I mean, but Derek Lassick was from New York.
Yeah.
Now, he was Player of the Year in New York. The thing was, he wasn't super recruited. He wasn't super highly recruited. But his backup, Sherwin Williams, was from
Mobile.
Yeah. So it's. David Palmer, obviously from Birmingham.
But that I think, and the reason I'm comparing it is because that took some getting used to.
100%.
Just as the players getting paid and money becoming part of this equation is taking some getting used to for me.
We just want the players to care about the university as much as we do.
I think I want them to care about the team.
Yeah.
Now, I don't, if you're a guy that
the team,
graduates from Alabama and you're like, or leaves Alabama after 2 or 3 years or whatever, and you wind up not graduating and you graduate somewhere else and that's the school you'd choose to love, then okay, fine. But while you were here, you were all in, right? While you were here, you were all in. And I love a guy like Ty Simpson. He wanted to leave a legacy at Alabama, and I believe he did. And I think Ty Simpson will be very fondly remembered for that very reason.
And I think we can all get behind, like Jalen Hurts leaving for Oklahoma. We get it. We understood it. You gave us everything, and you got your degree, and you had some of the best, were a part of some of the best moments in Alabama history. Go to Oklahoma, go to a pass-happy offense, increase your draft stock a little bit, and go from there. And it worked out great for him.
The year that he lost the starting job, Nick Saban met with Jalen Hurts, and he made him 2 promises. 1, I will not put you in there with the third team. If I put you in, it's going to be with the 1 so you can put good things on film for the NFL scouts. 2, after the season, I'm going to help you figure out what to do next, what the next step is. When the season was over, Jalen Hurts loves to tell this story. He goes to Saban. He says, hey, Saban's like, where you think about going? He's like, well, Oklahoma's interesting. Maryland, Mike Loxley, had gone to Maryland, his former offensive coordinator. And there was one other school, and I forget who it was. And he said, I'm really thinking about Maryland. I like Coach Locks, and I feel comfortable in that offense. And Saban's like, yeah. He goes, I think that's a bad idea. He's like, why? He goes, you need to go where there's the most talent around you.
Yeah.
And that's Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Right? So Jalen Hurts going to Oklahoma was orchestrated by his head coach who was looking out for the best interest of the player, which is what he's supposed to do. So, yeah.
And look, Jalen Hurts still considers himself an Alabama guy. We consider him an Alabama guy. The Oklahoma thing was sort of like, hey, man, we get it. You go do your thing.
I was rooting for him unless we had to play him,
Look, even if we had played him, he'd throw for 500 yards, I'd be like, that's my boy.
Right.
That's my boy.
Let's take another break. We'll be back with more Sports Blitz Live. 256-234-6221. Get in the show.
Thunderbolt Lightfoot at Oscar's Cafe on Highway 49 South in Dadeville, Alabama is looking to see you today. Now, let me tell you, they got great food. They've always had great food all these years. Now, they still got that atmosphere. They still got that service. They still cater. Let me stop right there. 15 to 415 they can handle. So give them a call today at Oscars, Highway 49 South in Dayton. 256-825-4827.
Hillaby Towers is an affordable senior citizens community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East. Spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed, and utilities are included. Call today to find out more information on Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552. That's Hillaby Towers in Alexander City.
2025 RVs are here. Be the first to see the latest and greatest from your favorite manufacturers and lock in special show pricing at your local Camping World.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SDC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
S&S Tire is the #1 tire and service dealer in the entire Lake Martin region for reasons. First, S&S works on all makes and models, including imports, and our advanced trained ASE Master Tech can pinpoint and correct problems before they happen. S&S Tire sells by volume, and that allows us to demand the best price on all major brands, including Michelin, Goodyear, and Toyo. Most importantly, S&S Tire and Auto lives, works, worships, and interacts in our home community. S&S Tire, #1 for many reasons, but most importantly, #1 for your satisfaction.
2025 RVs are here. Be the first to see the latest and greatest from your favorite manufacturers and lock in special show pricing at your local Camping World.
Welcome back to Sports Blitz Live. JJ and Luke with you for about 20 more minutes tonight as we get ready to wrap up this show. Just a really interesting conversation with Gary earlier from Sylacauga, who called us. If you want to get in, 256-234-6221. And I hear it a lot, Luke, and I feel it to a degree that, gosh, they're going to lose the fans of college football. But there's been no evidence of that.
And maybe it will. But, and I think, do I really want it to come to that? Because once you do that, it's kind of hard to bring people back.
To bring it back.
Once they get into other habits.
That's why I think it's so important that the NCAA and the conferences specifically keep working to come up with a model that still, for one, still values the educational mission of these universities. I think that should matter. There should be a reward for graduating early. There should be a reward for things like that. Now, the cynical people will tell you, all these guys are doing online classes anyway. Do you really think they're the ones taking the online test?
That's a great point. But here's the other thing. Why is it a reward to get to leave? I mean, if that's a reward, then shouldn't you have already left?
To leave. I'm just saying earning a degree.
I agree. And look, I want that too. I'm just saying, I think we've got to rethink the whole system. I think, first of all, the first thing we're going to have to do, it's not going to be an issue with having, the 300 basketball teams. We're going to cull that down, way down, just like we're going to cull football down.
Yeah.
Because, frankly, I know Tulane and James Madison made the college football playoffs. They're not playing the same sport as all these other teams.
No.
And somebody say, well, you probably would have said that about Indiana. No, because Indiana is in the Big Ten. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't think Indiana was ever going to have a season like that this last year. But unlike Gary said he thought they spent a lot of money, and they did spend more money. Number one, they spent it very wisely because they didn't go after the top guy. They went after the 10th ranked guy in the portal.
Well, and here's the thing. Say what you want about the quarterback. They found a Heisman winner.
Yeah, well,
and a number
he was the 10th
ranked draft pick.
He was the 10th ranked guy in the transfer portal.
So the guy they pick up this year, help me with the name from
Hoover, Josh Hoover.
Josh Hoover.
From TCU.
All right, Josh Hoover, TCU. Here's the interesting thing. The quarterback that's going to be number one, Mendoza. Mendoza last year had the highest rate of RPO plays of any quarterback in the country. Is like 73%. Number two at 69% was Josh Hoover. Josh Hoover was not the highest rated guy in this portal cycle, but he's the guy that runs
fits their system
to what they do. And that is, quite frankly, good evaluation and good coaching. That doesn't mean they're going to win another title. Doesn't mean Josh Hoover's going to win a Heisman. But he'll go into an offense that he's very comfortable with.
Let me tell you what else has happened these last 3 years. And, again, this sort of goes to what we're saying. Okay, so Michigan, Ohio State, and Indiana, they're all in the Big Ten, all win national championships. What else they have in common? They all played terrible non-conference schedules. Terrible.
Yeah.
So what you're going to see is, and I think it's beginning to come to fruition, Alabama's about to cancel. Now, it may be Alabama and Ohio State doing this mutually.
Yeah.
But they're going to say, why are we playing 9 SEC games and Ohio State?
There's an easy piece of blame on this.
That's on the committee.
That's on the committee. Because the committee promised us 2 years ago, remember? Oh, if y'all go to 9 conference games, I mean, we're really going to value strength of schedule.
Correct.
It's going to be maybe the most important thing we look at.
And it's
they
not.
don't. They just look at the number of losses you have.
Well, think about this.
They don't even look at quality wins. It's number of losses.
The whole – it's not so much this year that showed me. It's last year when SMU gets over Alabama.
Yeah.
SMU, they played essentially 2 teams and lost to them. And they don't get in, and they get in anyway, and they shouldn't have. And also, everybody's like, well, you can't have a 3-loss team in. Well, Clemson's in.
Yeah.
They say, well, they won their conference. Yeah, they beat the bad SMU team I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all this circle logic. And look, again, you and I were just talking about, hey, you can play a great schedule, but you still have to win some games. I'm not saying let a 7-6 team in.
No.
I'm saying that if you've got a 9-3 team and you've got a 10-2 team, and the 10-2 team, the best 2 teams they played beat them, the 9-3 team ought to get more.
The most shining example last year is Texas.
Yeah.
If Texas plays UAB instead of Ohio State, they're in.
100%.
I mean, they are in.
And so,
even with an ugly Florida loss, but that's a loss at the Swamp. I don't care if Florida wasn't any good. It's at the Swamp. You try to go win one at the Swamp.
And that's what I'm saying is it's they set some ugly precedents, just like the NCAA does when they do things like the whole Bediako thing. Well, we don't want pros playing. Well, you got several pros playing. Well, they're different kind of pros.
Yeah.
You know, just say no pros.
You've got G Leaguers, but they didn't play college first.
They didn't play college first, but they still played the G League and got a check, right? And they were part of an NBA trade. Yeah, but they didn't. You know, and that's so funny. It's
Charlotte Hornets still owns the guys' rights.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, which is also scary. Like, if Charlotte called and said, you know, they're not going to, he's not playing very well. But that's the other irony is neither Bediako nor this guy have made like this huge change.
Yeah.
But if Charlotte called and this guy was kicking butt and they said, hey, work on some load management with him.
We've had some injuries.
Yeah.
Or how about this? They call him up and go, hey, we've had some injuries. And we're going to need you to really kind of, we're getting ready to get started here. We need you.
We're making a run.
We need you now.
Yeah.
We need you now. Don't think that won't happen. So.
Well, I mean, and every time you say something like that won't happen, the pendulum is swung so far from you can't even consider buying somebody a pack of Skittles at the drugstore if he's your best friend to you can do whatever the heck you want to at any time.
That's right. We're going to take another break, and we'll come back, get close to the end of the show here. 256-234-6221. Lots to talk about on a Tuesday night.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
The all-new Winter Timber is now open. Located right next to the Walmart Market across from the Auburn Mall. If the outdoors is your lifestyle, Winter Timber is your new headquarters. From rifles, ammo, and hunting supplies, camo, and all the outdoor essentials, they've got it in stock and ready for you. Winter Timber is here to serve Auburn, Opelika, and the entire Lake Martin area. And they'll make the drive worth it. For the best selection and the best service in outdoor gear, one name says it all. Winter Timber, the best in outdoor needs.
Bundle your home and auto and save money with State Farm's personal price plan. Contact State Farm agent Ron Carroll today at 256-378-6631 or visit him on Highway 280 in Childersburg. Prices vary by state, options selected by customer availability. Eligibility may vary.
Russell Medical Total Fitness is ready. Are you? Do you have arthritis? They can help. Pilates are for everyone. Ask them about the Silver Sneakers program. Get moving in a class now, or if you prefer, personal training on land and water are available. They have invested in new equipment for you. Invest in yourself with a dedicated and knowledgeable staff. Call today, 256-329-7623.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Zaxby's birthday cake milkshakes are back. Just in time for Zaxby's 35th birthday, so they're gifting you half-off handcrafted milkshakes. Happy birthday to us all. Zaxby's handcrafted milkshakes. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's. Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Welcome back to Sports Blitz Live on a Tuesday night. JJ and Luke with you as we get ready to wrap up the show here in the next few minutes. Luke, before we go, once again, Auburn defeated by Vanderbilt tonight at home. Tough loss for the Tigers. They were 6-point favorites.
Yeah, I think they ended up only being like 3-point favorites. I think the line had dropped, but they still, you needed to beat Alabama
it's a
or
disappointing
Vanderbilt.
loss.
Honestly, it sort of makes me wonder if they let the whole Bediako thing beat them twice, because everybody's sitting around complaining about Bediako, next thing you know, you got Vandy coming in here, who's a pretty good squad. They're mad as wet hens because they've been on a losing streak. They come in and just take care of business. That game was really never in doubt.
Yeah. And it got, like I said, it got to 4 with about 2.5 left, and you thought, okay, Auburn's making their run. And then by the time it got from 2.5 to 2 minutes, it was back at 9. All right, so tomorrow we get Alabama and Ole Miss. Alabama goes on the road, 7.5-point favorite in Oxford. Ole Miss is not very good. They're 11-12. They're 3-7. A lot of drama around this Alabama program right now. Nate Oates obviously unhappy with the Bediako ruling, made that clear in his press conference today. How does the team respond? How does Oates respond? And that'll be, I think it's a subtle subtext, but I think it's a subtext in this game.
Well, here's the thing. Alabama's got a nice schedule coming up. I mean, about as nice as you could hope for in the SEC. You got Ole Miss on the road, who's not very good, like you said, 7.5-point favorite for a reason. Then you've got South Carolina at home. You got Arkansas at home. That'll be tough, but it's at home on a Wednesday night. Should be able to win that. Then at LSU, they're the worst team in the league this year, it looks like, if it's not South Carolina. And then you welcome in Mississippi State. So outside of Arkansas, who's maybe the second, third best team in the conference, you've got 4 of the bottom dwellers. Right. You need to go at worst 4-1 in this stretch. So don't start with a loss at Ole Miss, because then you got to go 4-0.
4-1 in this stretch would put them at 10-5 coming down the stretch. That's a nice
10-5 down the stretch, and you'd have games against I know Georgia, Tennessee, and I think Auburn remaining. Yeah. So what you want to be at least 10-5, because if you say, okay, you drop Tennessee and Georgia on the road, which is not crazy, so that's 10-7, and you beat Auburn, that's 11-7. Man, that gets you a 4 or 5 seed easy.
Yep. All right, so let's talk about the other games that are going to be happening. Here's the schedule tonight: Arkansas at LSU. On paper, Arkansas should have no trouble.
Well, right. It's already a 15-point lead right at the half.
Okay. Well, there you go. Tomorrow.
On paper, and on the court, they have no trouble.
Florida at Georgia. We know what Florida is when the Death Star is fully functioning. But Georgia can play a little bit. I don't know that this one's, a 25, 30-point runaway.
I feel like Florida's been on a bit of a heater. They're due for a cool down. I just don't know if this is going to be it.
And I just don't know if Georgia can take advantage of it, even if they do cool down.
Well, Georgia has played a lot of good team, or a lot of decent teams to good teams at home, and they just, outside of the early game against Auburn, where, frankly, they got sort of fortunate. They lost A&M at home. They lost to, who was one of the good teams they lost to? Was it Arkansas?
Yeah.
And now they got Florida. I think they lost to Tennessee at home. So I just don't see that trend turning around.
Tennessee at Mississippi State. This is another one. On paper, Tennessee shouldn't have much trouble.
Watch out, though. Tennessee just had a deflating loss at Mississippi State. And, these things tend to even themselves out. Tennessee goes to Bama and win. Tennessee goes to Georgia and wins. You're thinking, hey, everything's coming up Tennessee. Next thing you know, they go to Kentucky. They got a huge lead. They blow it. Next game is against the Mississippi State squad. I'm telling you, Chris Jan's a good coach.
He is.
And Josh Hubbard is that dude. So, Tennessee will probably win, but it's not going to shock me if Mississippi State does.
All right, let's talk about Missouri. 3-7 in the league, 11-12. 16-7, 6-4 in the league. Missouri headed on the road to Texas A&M. Could this get tricky for A&M?
Yeah, I think it could, because it looks like they're starting to realize, we've got some chinks in the armor. When you're playing like you're bulletproof is great until somebody's able to pierce your armor, and then you start doubting yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that this is going to be a tough game for them tomorrow.
Final thought. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did. It was god-awful. I thought the commercials were mostly pretty bad. It just wasn't a good – look, I hate –
the Duncan one was
That was funny.
The Duncan one was
I hate that venue. I went there for the National Championship, Bama and Clemson, and I'll never forget this. We're walking to the game. A lot of people in orange and red, right? And we're walking to the game, and somebody passed by and goes, hey, what's going on over there tonight? It was like we were like 4 blocks away. It wasn't like we were 10 miles outside the stadium.
It's interesting. I was talking with somebody before the game, and they said, so what do you think about the Super Bowl? I said, I don't know. I think it's 2 things. I think for the Patriots to win, their offensive line has to play above their head, play better, play good, and they haven't at times. And for the Seahawks to win, you just need Sam Darnold to be okay. Mm-hmm. You just need him to be okay. He doesn't have to set the world on fire. So what do? You get Sam Darnold, 19 of 38 for 202 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks, sacked once for 8 yards, 50% completion percentage, 200 yards. It's okay.
Yeah.
But the Patriots' offensive line gives up 6 sacks.
Putrid.
It only rushes for, less than 100 yards. So,
putrid.
And the left side of that offensive line, man, just got.
I hate to say it.
Will Campbell took the brunt.
Yeah, he might have to renegotiate his contract the other way. But the one thing we talk about is schedules in college football. Sometimes if you don't play a tough schedule, you cannot be ready. New England, by all metrics, had a really bad schedule. And that's just luck of the draw with 32 teams. Yeah. And then they got very fortunate to go play Denver. Bo Nix is hurt. Yeah. And they still barely win.
Sports Blitz Live tonight. He's Luke. And I'm JJ. Hey, next Tuesday, we don't know who's going to be here.
It's just
a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Farmers and Merchants Bank of Dadeville is building a foundation of strength and trust in the entire Lake Martin community. With our modern branch in Dadeville and caring, attentive staff, we've established Farmers and Merchants Bank as a reliable friend to your banking needs. Whether it's just a savings or checking account or any commercial, auto, or real estate loan, Farmers has local decision-making to build a relationship with you and your needs. Farmers and Merchants Community Bank. Strength, service, community.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen-printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
Wintertime in the South is mild compared to other parts of the country, but we still tend to be less active and spend more time indoors. Show your heart some love this winter by getting it checked out at the UAB Heart and Vascular Clinic at Russell Medical. I'm Dr. Kevin Sublett, and our entire clinic is dedicated to keeping your heart healthy. We're right here in your own community and backed by the knowledge and expertise of UAB Medicine. Make an appointment today by calling 256-234-2644 or visit uabmedicine.org/heartrussell.
Ivy Creek Healthcare is excited to showcase their newest clinic, Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin, located conveniently near the main entrance to Stillwater's on Highway 49 South in Dadeville. Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin is an urgent care with walk-ins welcome. Whether you need lab work, x-rays, or immediate care, find comfort here at Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin. Ivy Creek, here when you need us most. 256-827-5379.